Morning to one and all. We'll start with the first unit of this physical chemistry, molecular spectroscopy. In the molecular spectroscopy, already we discussed the syllabus for this semester. There are the four different types of the spectroscopies are there. Rotational spectroscopy, vibrational rotational spectroscopy, then the Raman spectroscopy. Out of that, before starting this particular spectroscopy, we will see the introduction about the spectroscopy. What is a spectroscopy in general?
Dear students, in this video presentation, I will be giving a general introduction about molecular spectroscopy. So what is spectroscopy? It is the branch of science which deals with the study of interaction of different types of electromagnetic radiations with matter. Matter means it can be molecules, atoms, or ions. Interaction means the electromagnetic radiations can be absorbed by the molecule or atoms. It can be scattered or it can be emitted. In spectroscopy, we measure and interpret the absorption or emission of electromagnetic radiations that is interacting with the matter. The term spectroscopy derives from two root words. One is the Latin word spectre, meaning image or ghost, and the other is the Greek word scorpion, meaning to look. Spectroscopy has proved to be one of the most effective techniques and a powerful tool for studying atomic and molecular structure.
The syllabus for this semester.
We can broadly classify spectroscopy into two types. One is the atomic spectroscopy and the other is the molecular spectroscopy. In atomic spectroscopy, we study the interaction of electromagnetic radiation with atoms, while in molecular spectroscopy, we study the interaction of electromagnetic radiation with molecules. In this paper, we will be focusing on molecular spectroscopy. Since spectroscopy is the study of interaction of electromagnetic radiations with matter, let's recall what is electromagnetic radiation. It is a form of radiant energy that is propagated through free space or through a material medium. As the term implies, electromagnetic. It is composed of electrical and magnetic waves which oscillate on perpendicular planes. Another important property of electromagnetic radiation is that it shows dual nature. That is, it exhibits both wave-like properties as well as particle-like properties. An electromagnetic radiation is characterized by its frequency, wavelength, energy, etc. So, given here are two fundamental equations which relates the frequency, wavelength, energy of electromagnetic radiations. The frequency of a wave or a radiation is related to its wavelength lambda, and the velocity of light is given by nu equals c by lambda. Nu is the frequency, c is the velocity of the light, which is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, and lambda is the wavelength. All electromagnetic radiations travel with the same velocity, which is the velocity of the light. Another important equation is related to the energy of a radiation and frequency, which is given by E equals h nu, where E is the energy, h is the Planck's constant, and nu is the frequency of the electromagnetic radiation. So these two are basic and important equations when we deal with electromagnetic radiations. Now we know that depending upon the frequencies or wavelengths, electromagnetic radiations are classified into different types like radio waves, microwaves, infrared, UV visible, gamma rays, X-rays, etc. So an arrangement of these different electromagnetic waves, either in the order of their frequencies or in the order of their wavelengths into different regions, is called an electromagnetic spectrum. It is the orderly distribution or arrangement of electromagnetic waves according to their frequencies or wavelengths into different regions, and that will constitute an electromagnetic spectrum. If they are arranged in the order of their increasing frequencies, as you can see in this image, the low frequency waves are the radio waves and microwaves, followed by IR, infrared waves, then UV, ultraviolet visible rays, and the highest frequencies are of X-rays and gamma rays. If in terms of wavelength, it is just the reverse order. The longest wavelength is for radio waves, microwaves, and then in the decreasing order, IR, UV, X-rays and gamma rays. This is called the electromagnetic spectrum. Now let's see what are the different types of energies associated with a molecule. In molecules, energy can be stored either as a potential energy or kinetic energy. One is translational energy, which is stored as kinetic energy. But since this is an unquantized energy, unquantized means it can take any value. It's not relevant to spectroscopy. In spectroscopy, we will be dealing with energies which are only quantized, that is, which have only specific values. So next comes the rotational energy. It is the energy associated with the rotation of the molecules about an axis passing through its center of gravity. And it is a quantized energy. The other is vibrational energy, which is the energy associated with vibrations of atoms or groups within a molecule. Or we can say the oscillatory motion of atoms or groups. For example, oscillatory motion means the motion of a simple pendulum. And this is also a quantized energy. And another one is electronic energy. It is the energy associated with the distribution of electrons of the molecules in various energy states. It is also a quantized energy. So the total energy of a molecule is the sum of all these energy, translational plus rotational plus vibrational plus electronic. So in spectroscopy, we will be measuring the transition between these different molecular energy levels, excluding translational energy. So if transition occurring between rotational energy levels, we will be measuring the rotational energy, which comes under rotational spectroscopy. If the transitions are occurring between vibrational energy levels, we will be measuring the vibrational energy change, which comes under vibrational spectroscopy. Similar is the case with electronic energy levels also. Now, let's see what is the key point in molecular spectroscopy. When an electromagnetic radiation interact with the molecules, such interaction will result in the absorption of radiation of a particular frequency by the system. And this absorption of radiation will cause a molecule to undergo a transition from a lower energy state E1 to a higher energy state E2. So this is the essential condition for a transition between quantized levels, that is delta E or E2 minus E1 is equal to h nu, where h is the Planck's constant and nu is the frequency. And this condition is often referred to as the Bohr frequency condition. In other words, for absorption to occur, the energy of the photon, that is the energy of the radiation, must match the energy difference delta E between the quantized energy levels E1 and E2. This is the key point in molecular spectroscopy. That is, a given molecule will absorb only those frequencies or wavelengths which have the energy that correspond to the energy difference of the transition that is occurring. if the frequency of the electromagnetic radiation matches with the energy difference, delta E is equal to h nu, then that frequency component will be absorbed by the molecule, atoms or ions. So this is the key point or essential condition in molecular spectroscopy, and the condition delta E is equal to h nu is often referred to as the Bohr frequency condition. The Born-Oppenheimer approximation. This is fundamental concept in quantum mechanics. So Born-Oppenheimer is one of the approximation methods used in quantum chemistry. Now what is Born-Oppenheimer approximation? We know that the mass of an atomic nucleus in a molecule is very much larger than the mass of an electron. It's almost around 1,000 times larger than the mass of an electron. So because of this difference, the motion of the nuclei are very much slower compared to the motion of the electrons. Hence, we assume that the nuclei does not move. This is called Born-Oppenheimer approximation. An important consequence of Born-Oppenheimer approximation is that the energy levels for each type of transition can be treated independently. Or we can say like this, the total energy of a molecule is the sum of electronic energy plus vibrational energy plus rotational energy. That is, E total is equal to E electronic plus E vibrational plus E rotational. So this is the consequence of Born-Oppenheimer approximation. Each energy level or the energy change in each level can be treated or calculated independently of the other energies. So the table shows the different types of spectroscopic techniques that we are going to study in the later classes. The rotational spectra or microwave spectra involves the transition between rotational energy levels by absorbing radiation in the microwave region. The vibrational or infrared spectroscopy involves the transitions between vibrational energy levels by absorbing radiation in the infrared region. Next is the electronic spectroscopy or UV visible spectroscopy involving transitions between electronic energy levels by absorbing radiation in the UV visible region. Next is the Raman spectroscopy. It involves transitions between vibrational as well as rotational energy levels by interacting with the radiation in the infrared region. In rotational, vibrational, and electronic spectroscopies, we measure the absorbed radiation, whereas in Raman, we measure the scattered radiation. We will learn about it in detail in later classes. Okay. The last two are the spin resonance spectroscopies by interacting with the radiation.
Okay. This is what the introductory part of this particular molecular spectroscopy. We will start the actual part. ये आपको पता रहना चाहिए कि क्या है मॉलिक्यूलर स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी, स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी किसे कहते हैं, उसके टाइप्स कितने हैं, वहां पे अच्छा समराइज किया था. दैट्स व्हाई आई चूज दैट वीडियो टू शो यू. In that video, all the basic concept about spectroscopy was there. Today, tomorrow we will talk about the syllabus part of this particular unit. We have to start with the polar and the non-polar, then the dipole movement, bond movement, Debye, and all these things. By question answer wise, we will see one by one. Please write the notes. I also circulated the PDF copy on the WhatsApp. Tanzil, right? Please circulate with all the students. Thank you.